Rates of inflation are historic. We've hit a decades-high increase of 4%. The Federal Reserve saying these rates are, quote, transitory and expected to be temporary. But there have been multiple predictions and warnings that this will be a very costly holiday season. Joining us right now in studio, money smart guy Matt Sapaula. Good to see you in person.
In person, in the flesh. That's
live
right.
And in living color. Okay,
and in green.
Yes, and in green. We got the green memo today. Inflation is not the only thing going up. Wages are also going up. So on paper, it might appear that a lot of Americans can keep up. But
Sure.
Is that true?
Well, not necessarily, because, just because wages go up, guess where the entrepreneurs are putting that cost to as well? It's going to be the employees. They got to raise everything else. So if people want higher wages, no problem, but the employers are going to have to raise also the cost of goods and services, the prices of products and services, because they have to still maintain the profit margin to stay in business.
Yeah, and a lot of people, the Great Resignation,
yes.
A lot of people, baby boomers specifically, are actually getting out of work, leaving work, retiring early in hopes of creating their best life ever, or maybe becoming an entrepreneur and having an at-home business, which we've talked about quite a bit. But in terms of all of the holiday shopping, in terms of people planning to actually stay afloat and make sure that they have the life that they want, are people willing to spend on luxury items, on food, no matter the cost?
I think there's a breaking point for some people, and I think with retail, they found other ways to get what they want. For example, I've seen things like Real Deal, the Poshmark, where they can buy the brand names for a cheaper price. Instead of paying full retail price, they're paying for half, maybe secondhand, but they still get the brand name. So these opportunities may be abound for people looking to save a buck.
Well, I think, too, a lot of people are trying to get creative selling their luxury items, getting rid of them online on some of these sites. But do you have any advice for how families can prepare? Because just because everybody's doing it, just because everybody's going shopping right now, which a lot of people are, doesn't mean that it's the money smart thing to do.
There you go. I think a lot of people are finding creative ways to give gifts. The 5 love languages, one of the love languages that give gifts. Some people find that just quality time, just spending time with other kids don't remember your presents, but they remember your presence. And they find out how I can have a digital album, how I can take memories and make movies out of it, be very creative in how they give gifts. And that stuff lives on forever. It lives online, lives on social media, and people remember those memories.
Do you think that people are materially stepping back and kind of taking assessment of their lives, especially in light of the past year and a half, and thinking, you know what, that stuff isn't really as important as the time I get with people I love?
Correct. I hope that material things don't make you, especially trying to put on things that to impress people that don't pay your bills, that don't really matter anything in your life. I think people right now with feeling great financial pain, especially with the pandemic coming through, these people are finding out the inner power, the hidden superpower they have inside them, and saying, wait, I am creative, I am entrepreneur. I never thought in a million years I'd be in the insurance industry, but I discovered it. I never thought in a million years I'd be an entrepreneur, but I discovered it. And I think through this process, through great pain, people are going to find ways to change.
I didn't know we were going to go so deep into the emotions of finances. But one more quick question. The Fed announced Wednesday it's taking the first step towards pulling back the billions of dollars in aid as a result of what we've been going through historically, providing markets and economy a little bit of relief. But now they're saying, okay, we need to correct some things here, including tapering bond purchases. So what kind of impact could that have for American families?
See, the market's been on financial steroids thanks to the Fed. Now it's going to peel back. We're going to have a little bit reality check. And we're going to see how people are going to adjust, because right now inflation is more than people are earning at the banks. People are not earning a purchasing power. They're losing purchasing power. The cash is turning into trash unless our money is earning more money than inflation. So people have to invest better, find ways to increase what they're earning at their jobs or throughout their businesses. So it's going to be a very creative time for people to innovate.
Yeah, it's a time for innovation like no other. Matt Sapaula, money smart guy, thank you for being with us today.
Great to be with you in person.
Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.